We're going to return to our conversation now with Chief Cathy Lanier. And, you know, let's go to another big story that continues to make headlines, and that's Ferguson. One of the things that's been an outgrowth out of that is you've seen a lot of police departments now saying we're going to throw body cameras on. Your department is one such department. How many officers? We're starting out with 90 officers?
Well, it'll be 165 total that will be piloting or testing several different brands or different models of cameras. But and this is a 18-month project in the makings. I mean, we have been very closely watching body cameras over the past 5 years as they have been developing and the technology has been improving, and just kind of waiting until we felt like they were where they would be easy to implement. And so I think we're kind of at that point now. So our policy is already written. We are testing 5 different models that starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes, October 1 is our first day. So we're going to start rolling out the cameras on October 1st. We're going to test each of the 5 different models to see which one is most appropriate. We may even actually adopt more than one type of camera, but we're looking at their ease of use, tactical durability, quality of video, and then storage capacity. There's a lot of things you have to evaluate. It seems sometimes simple just to purchase and throw technology out there, but you know, we have a privacy attorney that has to evaluate our policy, make sure the privacy issues are covered, FOIA issues. So you can imagine.
Right.
We get more FOIAs than almost any agency in government.
Right.
And when there's literally going to be thousands and thousands of hours of video that may be subject to FOIA, and then having those redacted, big challenge.
That's going to be a huge challenge. FOIA is Freedom of Information Ask for requests, which we're constantly asking the department for. We FOIA police reports, or we FOIA evidence, and you know, if something's going on in court, we can't grab it.
And they have to be preserved for criminal cases as well. So criminal cases. So the ability to download, store, edit, and manage video systems is a big investment for police departments, and for a department our size, it's probably going to take me 3 years, 2 to 3 years to roll the whole system out, so I have everybody that I want with cameras to have cameras. Okay.
So what's been the overall feedback that you're getting from your rank and file?
Excellent. Officers,
they don't mind having their job.
In fact, our testing officers are all volunteers.
Oh, really?
Because I think everybody realizes we're being videotaped in a million different places every day anyway. And I think people also realize, police officers and community members, that everybody acts better when there's a camera on. We get a lot of citizen complaints where it's just a single officer and a civilian citizen resident that is, and neither one of them are satisfied at the end of an investigation when all we can say is we don't have enough information to sustain the complaint because it's one person against another person's word. And so the officer goes away feeling we don't believe their story, and the community member goes away feeling we don't believe their story. So this gives us that independent third-party witness to incidents where allegations of misconduct or rudeness or harassment, all of those things can be kind of cleared up with an independent witness. So
immediate. So I have a question about that, but I want to get to the phone. Sarita from Northeast, are you still with us?
Yes.
Good morning.
Hi, Sarita.
Hi. How are you?
Good. What's your question?
My question is, I live in Ward 5, and I live in an area of Stadium Armory, of 8th Street connection, the street of 8th Street.
Correct.
And I notice a lot of the cops are the cars are
in the alleys?
In the alleys, yes, are in the alleys, in the streets, are having conversations.
Okay, so you feel like, from what you're saying, they're loitering.
Right. Why can't they just move over and have conversations, then blocking the street and have conversations? So
your response to that?
So, we ask officers to, and particularly in the area she's talking about, we ask officers to do alley patrols for a reason. Typically when there's burglaries during the day, they are typically through rear entrances of doors, so we ask that the officers do frequent alley patrols. They shouldn't be, she's kind of describing a situation where there's 2 cars parked next to each other and they're talking, and they certainly shouldn't be blocking the alley. But we do ask them to patrol the alleys. I'm glad to hear they're back there, but I'll talk to the district commander about them blocking the alleys up. And you can always call, make a complaint if there's something going on and you want to report to a supervisor. You can call, and ask for a supervisor to respond, or you can call up to the district station. That's the first district. And make
people will be surprised what happens when you make a phone call. It's really kind of interesting.
We have very good supervisors.
Yeah, people do actually do things when you make a phone call. Thanks so much, Sarita. We have another phone call from Alexandria. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, it's Mesfin.
Yes, this is Mesfin.
Okay, well, the chief is listening. Fire away.
Hi, Mesfin.
Yes, Chief. How are you doing?
Good.
Yes, my question is, you probably heard the news yesterday. What happened inside the Ethiopian embassy?
Yes, we had officers up on the scene. I've seen the video.
Yes. So this is not that first time. This is ongoing. This is ongoing incident. What happened is, we are also involved here in the Ethiopian community. There are Ethiopians divided. We know that this country we have freedom of speech and everyone has the right to protest. But sometimes when the protests happen inside your D.C. and this protester cross the line, and based on my incident, the D.C. police don't take action because the protester get away and they cross the line, they hurt, they curse, and then they fight hard. And that is the incident what happened yesterday inside the open embassy.
Okay, Mesfin, let me stop you right there.
What is your measures not to happen in the future, not to protect those individuals from getting hurt?
So how does the MPD protect individuals, these protesters, from getting hurt? Because he's saying there's been quite a bit of discord within the community. But what I don't think people truly understand is your jurisdiction.
Right. So this is in the jurisdiction of the United States Secret Service. They are responsible for protection of the embassies and managing protests certainly in the embassy, the area of the embassy. In fact, they responded. They made an arrest yesterday. MPD did respond and assist. But in terms of protest, very, very strong First Amendment rights for protesters, and our responsibility is to make sure, because we are the nation's capital, that people can protest and express their views, and sometimes they are loud, sometimes they curse, sometimes they use language that's offensive, but that's all protected here in the United States. And so it is sometimes difficult for people to go and protest, especially if there's counter-protests, to understand that this is all protected speech, and we have to honor that as long as we don't have violent clashes. I mean, certainly yesterday is not acceptable.
No.
And that's why an arrest was made. But our job is to keep the peace and to let people voice their opinions.
And once you get up to the embassy, I mean, the grounds of the embassy, that is
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
No, it actually belongs to the country, the embassy.
Right.
So that's their grounds. But Secret Service is responsible for that.
And I gotta assume, I'm assuming here, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's gotta be frustrating because, say, for instance, during the Africa Summit, we had clashes with protesters. We had security details beating up protesters, and MPD was on it. They knew who was involved. They knew who was responsible, but they were gone.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Diplomatic immunity. I mean, we asked that they waive immunity in cases the State Department gets involved. But those folks involved in the incidents during the African Summit that viciously attacked protesters and beat protesters, they were banned from returning here, even though they could not make an arrest based on the immunity. They were banned from returning to the United States, and those individuals won't be back.
Okay. We got another phone call. Greg in Northeast. Hi, Greg.
Yes.
Hi, go ahead with your question.
Yes, my name is Greg, and I'm calling from Northeast D.C.
Hi, Greg.
And I was involved in an incident at the Minnesota Avenue subway station. And 4 officers had a young gentleman on the ground, and they were choking him out. One of them had a billy club in his neck. And one of the officers turned around and seen that I was videotaping her, right? So she said, "Give me that camera." And I said, "No, you can't have my camera." And she literally started chasing me, and I ran with my cell phone camera. And I'd just like to know, do she have the right to take my camera from me? So I want videotape it. And I don't think that's right, because if they're doing something that I don't think is right, or the public don't think is right, do she have the right to take my camera from me, my phone?
Right. So, sir, I appreciate you calling in. I mean, first of all, if this happened at a metro station, it probably was not MPD. It probably was Metro Transit Police. I mean, I'd be happy to take a look at the video. Usually we can, even if they're in plain clothes, we can identify what agency they're with. But, there's a lot of police agencies in D.C. and oftentimes we get complaints that are not our officers. Everybody thinks there's just D.C. police, but it doesn't matter what agency's involved. If you're in public space and you're videotaping where the general public is allowed, you can videotape anything you want, and officers cannot seize your camera.
Okay. And Greg, I don't know if you're still on the phone, but we'll have our producer grab your phone number, and
yeah, I'd like
MPD
to
will follow up with you. Absolutely. Okay, so we'll be looking forward to those body cameras. We'll be seeing what happens with your attrition rate and getting some more officers back out on the street. Do you think those officers that you have that have been at the desk are going to need a little...
Well, I mean, most of them are still going out and do that. That's one of the reasons why we maintain that redeploy.
Right, exactly.
Because every 6 weeks they got to go out and do deployment on the street, so it keeps them up on their skills. So yes, I don't think it would require a lot of retraining. There may be some that have been a long time.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck with everything.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chief. Thanks for joining us. We're back with the program note right after this.